I've seen it all. Fight plan never ceases to amaze. All right, Rodriguez and tadoohnipah. Here we go with these two. 10 rounds with Eddie Cotton as your referee.
You already received your instructions. I expect a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times and obey my command. Let's touch gloves.
Delvin Rodriguez is from Danbury, Connecticut. That is the next town over from Newtown, Connecticut. And you see there on his trunks, he is honoring Sandy Hook Elementary School, of course, the home to the national tragedy. And he is honoring the victims. His trunks display that.
So all but 2 of tadoohnipah's fights have been in Oklahoma, and the other 2 were very nearby. So this is what you call a well-built-up record. This will be his first test of any kind to find out where he really is as a fighter, and he may very well not be ready for it. Like going from grammar school to college. We'll see what the professor, Rodriguez, has in mind for a test for the student tonight. See if it's too severe a test at this point in tadoohnipah's career.
Neither guy too bashful early on here.
I find a couple interesting things right away. First of all, tadoohnipah's always been bigger. I mean, much bigger. That doesn't mean better, because he's been in with very soft opposition. But he's been as heavy as 173 pounds, Joe. He's been a super middleweight his entire career. Until his last couple of fights, he dropped down to middleweight. And Rodriguez has been a junior welterweight and a welterweight his entire career until his last couple of fights where he went to junior middleweight. But tonight, tadoohnipah comes down, the lightest of his career by quite a bit.
And you know, Teddy, when I started prepping for this fight about 6 days ago, I noticed that it was contracted at 157. And then yesterday he checks in at 155 and a half.
So he knows what's on the line. I mean, that's the first thing. tadoohnipah feels the pressure of performing in this fight, that it's a fight of a lifetime. But will it help? I don't know. And did he do too much? Did he overtrain and leave it in the gym too a little bit?
The first thing that came to mind with me, a guy that fights well north of that, it's contracted at a catch weight, and he comes in far below the catch weight, and he's the bigger guy.
Now, on the other side of that coin, Rodriguez, is he overlooking tadoohnipah? Is he saying the same things we're saying? That tadoohnipah has been in with nobody for the most part in his career, because Rodriguez comes in the heaviest by a bit of his career.
Of course, he did most recently fight for the world title at 154 pounds, and he came in at 151 for that bout against Austin Trout.
Tonight, Rodriguez 156 and a half.
So he had 3 pounds of leeway when he fought for the world title, and he comes in at 156 and a half here tonight, which is a half a pound under the contracted mark.
Right now, it looks to me like tadoohnipah is very high-strung.
Yeah, very anxious.
Very tight, very nervous, not sure what to expect. It's up to Rodriguez not to let him relax, not to let him find himself. Moment
of his life, step-up moment of his career. On February 22nd, our nation's capital hosts a world title fight. Hometown favorite Lamont Peterson, coming off an upset win against Amir Khan, looks to defend his IBF belt against hard-punching knockout artist Kendall Holt.
If you forgot what it's all about, welcome back to Friday Night Fights.
As we can welcome back both veterans of Friday Night Fights, now fighting for a world title. That is next week, IBF title fight, Peterson Holt on Friday Night Fights. And ESPN.com will have full coverage all week long, starting with Monday with an extensive feature piece on the past year, controversial year in the life of Lamont Peterson.
You know, you just look at both fighters, especially that first round. It's still a little bit here. And you see, as we touched on at the end of the last round, tadoohnipah really tight. I mean, he is as tight as a drum. And you can see very nervous, very just unsure of what to expect.
So much pressure put on himself, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the entrance as to how he came in the ring, how much pride he's taken in obviously being a Native American, fighting here at Mohegan Sun. 2 busloads of fans made the trip up from Oklahoma.
And then if you
from
look
Oklahoma,
at,
Teddy.
No, exactly. And if you look at Rodriguez, very calm, very relaxed. But here's the point that I was trying to make, that it's up to Rodriguez not to let Tadoohnipah start to get rid of some of that stiffness. Don't let him start to unwind. Don't let him start to feel comfortable. You got him as tight as a drum. You got him nervous. You got him unsure of himself. Well, if I'm in the corner of Rodriguez, I think I would have noticed that, and I would have said, you know what? Maybe our plan was to go into the 3rd, 4th, take our time. Let's speed it up a little bit. This guy's tight. Let's get on him a little faster than we planned on and not allow him to find himself. In other words, take advantage of the way he's looking right now.
Yeah, don't let him settle in.
Take advantage of his mind state before, as you said, he settles down and starts feeling relaxed and starts believing he can do it.
Combination from Delvin, that right hand was blocked.
Now, Delvin's not a big puncher. He's not a huge puncher, but he's a sharp puncher. He cuts guys with his punches. He gets a certain snap on them. He's very sharp. He puts punches together beautifully. A real nice array of combination Rodriguez has. But the one weakness in Rodriguez, plenty of heart, but there's the right hand I talk about in the fight plan. The one weakness with Rodriguez is some people could question his chin. He's been down several times in fights, and he has been knocked out 1 time. But again, Tadoohnipah.
Oh, he got him with the right hand again.
Tadoohnipah, with all those knockouts, it's been with very weak opposition, and now he's finding himself in with opposition.
Tadoohnipah's hurt.
That's not weak. See, that's why I wanted Rodriguez to step it up this round, and that's exactly what he's done.
This is going to be a short night if this continues. Delvin is all over him. Shot after shot, strafing to the head. A right hand reins in. Well, listening to the corner of George Tadoohnipah, and that's brought to you by the United States Marine Corps.
I think you see what I said.
It's over.
They called the fight, and the corner is protesting.
Tadoohnipah's corner is protesting. There may have been a miscommunication.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're saying that.
Well, I'll tell you, they got Dr. Tony Alessi. Eddie Cotton just informed me that he thought Tony Alessi, the doctor, said he's done, and he admitted. Eddie Cotton came over, veteran guy, said, I made a mistake.
Yep.
I thought the doctor said he's done. He's not done.
Hey, we can all make mistakes. Give him credit for owning up to it right away, and obviously correcting it by allowing the fight to continue. I don't know how much longer it's going to continue. One thing that this has done, though, I'd like to get a time on that. I wonder how long that rest period. It feels like it was longer, and that really could serve and maybe save Tadoohnipah.
So Eddie Cotton admits the mistake, miscommunication with one of the most veteran ringside physicians there is, Tony Alessi.
He got more time.
And he got a break.
Tadoohnipah is more recovered than he would have been if he got that normal minute. I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but he got a little bit longer. But you know what?
Being outclassed,
it's not going to matter because, as we said, he's gone from the wading pool to the ocean, and right now the waves are crashing on the head of Tadoohnipah. You know, so far in his career, Tadoohnipah has been taking escalators. You know, he hasn't been having to go up steps in his career. You take steps, well, he's been taking an escalator. Tonight, well, no escalator. The only thing that's saving Tadoohnipah right now, to be quite frank with you, is Rodriguez is taking his foot off the gas pedal. And then I point to 156.5, the heaviest of his career. And I wonder if that has something to do with it. Because there's nothing stopping Rodriguez from doing that. except when he doesn't move his hands. And again, you see the habit of Tadoohnipah. He drops that left hand, he pulls back. Nose is bloody.
31-0-1. Doesn't quite look as glossy halfway through this third round, does it?
The only thing that Tadoohnipah has shown so far is, yes, he had a built-up record. Yes, he's a game guy. He's got a good chin, too. And yes, he's not hard to hit.
Blood streaming down the face of George Tadoohnipah.
Now, I said it the last round, Joe. Rodriguez, as he was really taking Tadoohnipah apart, he's not a big puncher. If he was a big puncher, Tadoohnipah would be out of here. He'd be in the showers already. But he's a sharp puncher. And he puts his punches together really well. And he mixes his punches up really well. But again, heaviest of his career. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think Rodriguez taking a foot off the gas a little. That low left hand and no head movement by Tadoohnipah really makes it inviting for that, the right hand.
Looking to survive the third round here is Tadoohnipah, and he does.
Well, we said in the fight plan, the right hand would show the way to the body and to the head. We talked mostly about the head shots, but Rodriguez went downstairs too. Left hook, and then finishing with a right hand at the end there.
2 times Delvin Rodriguez has fought for world titles. Recently challenged at 154 pounds and dropped unanimous decision to Austin Trout. Trying to stay in the rankings, maintain his status as a contender, and expose George Tadoohnipah with that built-up record. Number 10 in the WBA at 160 pounds was Tadoohnipah, a guy who 30 of his 32 fights against regional competition in Oklahoma. Game, proud, but seemingly overmatched here, looking to survive the early goings against Rodriguez.
Yeah, but maybe overmatched with a very experienced Rodriguez who's fought for a world title twice, lost both times, but been in that kind of competition. But maybe a Rodriguez who's not in the best of shape. I said it very early. And so far, again, I've seen a couple spots here already where it looked to me and to you that Rodriguez, if he kept his foot on the gas pedal, he's probably not here anymore.
Body shot came in.
Keep talking about this, the huge disparity in class of opposition. Well, 5 fights ago, Tadoohnipah was matched with an opponent who was making his pro debut. And now he's in there with a guy that is not making his pro debut, a guy that just has, so far, too much to offer. See, now about Rodriguez, I'm going to start touching the body a little bit more of Tadoohnipah, because Tadoohnipah now is in a survival mode. You know, he's not sure of himself. He's backing up a little bit. And when he sees something coming, he's going to try to cover. He's going to try to move his head. Hot shot a little bit. That head will move, but the body will be right there. On Rodriguez, I want to bang that body a little bit. Make sure I take away that head movement. Joe, you know, it's not a bad idea to go to the body. There's a good body.
Yeah, nice left hand to the body from Delvin.
Oh, I didn't think
and Eddie Cotton's going to give him a warning.
That was a good shot, it looked like to me. We'll get a chance later, but that, you would hope, if you're in the corner of Rodriguez, that doesn't discourage him from going to the body, because what I was just about to say was, you want to go to the body, not only because the guy's surviving and trying to move his head, but when a guy's shown a good chin, as Tadoohnipah has, go find out how good he takes it to the body. Well, we asked the question whether or not it was a clean body shot. The question answered, yes, it was. Beautiful body shot there. Eddie Cotton, a good veteran referee, just missed that one. Was not in the exact position to see it, and obviously can't have the benefit we have of seeing it on the replay.
Dr. Alessi's taking a good look at George Tadoohnipah, who's taken a lot of punishment. Alessi waves him on and says he can continue.
Now, if I'm in the corner of Rodriguez, I always think, what would I be saying? Well, one of the things I think I'd be saying is don't allow yourself to be taken out of any ideas of going to the body because the referee called that low. You keep going to the body. It's a good idea. And he did throw a left hook to the body that time. So that's what I mean about Rodriguez. Joe, that's his strong point. That's really his forte, his offense. You know, his defense isn't shabby, but you can catch it with right hands. He has been caught with right hands over the jab. Sometimes he'll push the jab a little bit, a little slow to bring it back, get a little too close, and you can time him with the right hand. But his offense is really pretty to watch. Puts them together, mixes them up, has an educated left hand. He can hook off it. He can go upstairs and downstairs.
And that's why it's no mistake that, Teddy, how many times, and to see, you know, the opening of tonight's show, how many times through the years have so many exciting fights that we've broadcast included Delvin Rodriguez.
I agree, Joe. And in all fairness, the fans at home that say, Teddy, maybe they're asking, I'm trying to listen, say, well, rate him for us. You know, he's fought for a world title twice. How come he hasn't been able to do better than second place? Well, to me, Rodriguez is a nice, solid B-plus fighter. But he can't win at the A level. Not yet, anyway. He hasn't been able to.
15th time that he's appeared on ESPN. 2 times he has fought for world titles. Most recently, the loss to Austin Trout.
You know, and a lot of people look at Rodriguez's record going into this, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tadoohnipah's people did and thought, well, he's 32 years old. You know, maybe we'll get him at the right spot. You know, he's lost 4 of his last 7. You know, Rodriguez has only won 1 of his last 4, but it's all been against top competition. A matter of fact, having lost 4 of his last 7, 2 of them were for world titles. So,
well, by the way, in 2 others, most people would say probably should have gone the other way. I mean, judging got the best of this guy.
Yes, agreed. And again, you wonder about the conditioning of Rodriguez. Once again, off the gas pedal a little bit. And I think that's the thing that's allowing Tadoohnipah to hang around.
Who's a very proud guy and a game guy.
And look, the other thing is, spoken to that's allowing Tadoohnipah to hang around is he is game. He does have a good chin.
He's absorbing here at the end of 5. It was another big right hand that came in. David Vaughn continues to work that corner of George Tadoohnipah. Came in tonight undefeated, but untested at this level. Delvin Rodriguez, a junior middleweight contender, fighting here in his backyard in Connecticut at Mohegan Sun. Big crowd coming out to see these two in the main event of Friday Night Fights. Rodriguez has been in control throughout. He damaged Tadoohnipah badly in the final minute of the 2nd round. Eddie Cotton said the fight was over after the 2nd round and a miscommunication with the ringside physician, and then they carried on and Tadoohnipah has withstood.
This looks like this had to look early on of maybe being the last round for Tadoohnipah if Rodriguez has made that his decision coming out of the corner.
Hit the accelerator a bit.
Yeah. But again, only Rodriguez knows what kind of shape he's really in, and maybe we do too a little bit. That's why we're talking about it. The scale doesn't usually lie. And again, Rodriguez, heaviest of his career. Tadoohnipah was cut off his left eye in his last fight, and I mentioned it at the beginning that Rodriguez has a knack of cutting guys just with the kind of punches he throws. He gets a good snap, a good turn on them, a good torque on them.
Oh, good uppercut in the mix. Good combination by Rodriguez.
Again, you're seeing the combination punching, the array of punches by Rodriguez, but also you're seeing that TNT. You know, that dynamite's not there. I wonder what's going on in the mind of Rodriguez right now. And the reason why I say that, a very honest fighter. You know, he said after his last fight, he said he was very upset of himself because he did not press the fight enough. He didn't leave it all in the ring. Now he's dominating this fight, so, but I wonder if those words are going to echo back to him and remind him of what he said, that he didn't press it enough, and if that's going to get him to hit that accelerator once again.
Tadoohnipah's nose has been split for the last 3.5 rounds. And the right hand comes in, then he digs in with the left to the body. Does Rodriguez, backs him up with the right hand, chops down with the right hand, backs him into that corner where he had him in trouble in the second round. Last half minute here, he's turning it on the way you asked, Eddie. Eddie Cotton's giving it a look, and Cotton steps in. TKO victory, Delvin Rodriguez. George Tadoohnipah came in proudly to the beat of the drum, but in the ring, he was just beat like a drum.
Well, here you see it. The right hand started it. Right hands, right hands, right hands. And not all of them landing clean, but the damage had been done, not only in this round, but from the outset. Tadoohnipah had taken a lot of punches, and I think the referee, a veteran referee, did the only thing that could be done. The compassionate thing and the right thing. An outclassed fighter was saved from himself, from taking any more punishment.
For the official particulars, we send it up to the ring to David Diamante.
Calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 2 minutes and 41 seconds of round number 6. Your winner by TKO from Danbury, Connecticut, Delvin Rodriguez.
27th win in the career of Delvin Rodriguez, and you see the SHES as he was honoring those from Sandy Hook Elementary School, the town right next to where he lives, Danbury, Connecticut, the tragedy in Newtown. The whole country was so moved by the horror as he fought on for the victims, displaying that on his trunks tonight, and comes up with a TKO victory against George Tadoohnipah, first loss in the career of Tadoohnipah. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we will hear from Delvin Rodriguez. Stay with us. More Friday Night Fights from Mohegan Sun to come your way.
What a performance by Connecticut's own Delvin Rodriguez. A 6-round TKO victory. His 15th knockout. What a night as he hands George Tadoohnipah his first professional loss. And joining me now here on set is Delvin Rodriguez. Do you feel a little underdressed right now? Usually when you're on ESPN, you're wearing a shirt and tie.
Definitely, but listen, it doesn't matter right now how I look. I just got to say I'm very excited. It was a really, really good fight, you know. The fans loved it, and that's my main job, you know, make the fans love the fight and, you know, get them in excitement. I think we got a lot of that tonight.
This was your 15th fight here on Friday Night Fights. How does this performance stack up against your previous 14?
It's great, man. You know, like I said, I knew that coming into this fight, I was fighting a tough guy, you know, and I think he showed that. A guy that took a lot of punches, took a lot of combinations, but you know what? I knew that I needed to win this fight, not just win this fight, but win very impressively, and you know, I believe I did the job tonight.
You dedicated this performance to Sandy Hook Elementary School. How important was tonight's fight in regards to that?
Very important. You know, that terrible, tragic, you know, really touched my heart. You know, I have 2 kids. I got just a 4-month-old baby right now, and 11 just turned 11 yesterday. So, you know, just thinking about that, you know, you can only imagine a situation like that. You know, you can't, even if you try to put yourself in the place of those parents, you can never feel what I believe they felt. You know, so it's a very touching situation for me. You know, and you know, I really felt, you know, very motivated to make a good fight dedicated to you know, Sandy Hook.
I'm sure Newtown really appreciates that gesture, and of course your victory. What's next for you? Who do you want next?
I want the tough guys. You know, I think I did my job. I did all my homework. You know, I fought tough guy one after the other. I never took any easy fight. I never took a warm-up fight. You know, as you saw tonight, this guy is an undefeated guy. You know, a guy that maybe never fought guys at my level, but he showed that he's a tough guy today. You know, I had to punch and punch over and over, different combination to be able to get him out of there. So I want to fight the top guys. I don't want to fight nobody below me. I want to fight somebody that's going to put me to the next level.
Congratulations on your 27th win. Well done. Let's send it back to ringside, Joe and Teddy.